Come in a little closer. Got a question for you. Is your direct mail still giving you the same response that you received just last year or the year before or the year before that as a real estate investor? You're getting that same response rate from your direct mail or any of your other marketing sources? My guess is the answer to that question is no. And if the answer is yes, and maybe even greater, then you've made a lot of adjustments and congratulations. You have figured out the way to overcome the competition in your marketplace. If you haven't, I would encourage you to find a community that can help you with that. What's up, everyone? Leon Barnes here with the Collective Genius, back again to talk about one of our great training calls that we had this week. So often, whether it's in our private Facebook group or text messages or emails from our members, I'm sure that as a real estate investor, you're often asking yourself, how do I get better return on my investment for all of my marketing channels, but especially those that are doing direct mail? What could I be doing better? And outside of the vendor that's producing that piece for you, or maybe someone in your local community that you can reach out to that probably doesn't want to share the secrets with you, do you have someone to go to that can help you when it comes to improving that response rate? The answer is usually no, and if you do, congrats. So let's talk about this call and why I wanted to talk about it today. So every week within the CG community, we do a training call on 4 pillars of the business. And these are pillars that are, they equate to any business, but specifically we focus on real estate investment. So this week's call was hosted by Mr. Ren Bartlett, who hosts and facilitates all of our calls every single week. And on that call, he had Chuck Barnett, who is our direct mail specialist, that is a direct mail provider that takes that concept and puts it in the mail for you and does it at a very high level. But he does direct mail across the United States for a ton of high-level real estate investors. Why is that important? It's important because he gets feedback from real estate investors that are high level across the United States and always has good feedback of what is working and what isn't. Again, a community aspect to a channel that we want to continue to improve. And that channel this week that we talked about on the marketing call was direct mail and how do we improve response rates. And without giving up too much, the difference between branding and not branding is one of the topics that was discussed, and you can see that example there on the screen. In addition to that, the message and who you're speaking to. Okay, so just like any other marketing, we as real estate investors are trying to get people to respond to whatever it is we do from a marketing channel. So one of the questions that was brought up is whether I should brand or not brand my pieces that I'm sending out from a print aspect, just specifically talking about that piece. The conversation, the presentation was over 45 minutes, and there was 20 minutes of Q&A back and forth of what's working, what's not working. The greatest thing about this call was that you have an operator like Ren Bartlett that's in the Gulf Coast area based in Mobile, Alabama, did almost 400 transactions last year, and they really believe in direct mail and send a lot of it. Well, they too were having issues with response rates. So you have a vendor on the call that handles direct mail across the country for high-level real estate investors, and you have an active real estate investor that is pushing 400 transactions a year that was struggling with direct mail and talked about their changes that they've made. Specifically, the messages that you're sending out, and are they unique or are they specific to the data set that you're trying to attract? So for instance, to use one example from this call without giving away too much, if you are marketing to pre-foreclosure list, the message of your piece should not be specific to absentee owners, for instance, or should not be to someone that is having any other issues with that problem property, right? It should be very specific to the list in which you're sending out. It's a rifle approach instead of a shotgun approach, if you will. Another thing about this conversation came out of like I mentioned before, the branding. The difference between the piece on the left and the piece on the right is speaking to a different seller. The message is directed, each piece is different for that particular list that was purchased. You've purchased a list, you've spent the money. That's where the really the difference between the response rate being 1% or 3%, which is usually the average response rate of direct mail across the United States. You can get it to 3 or higher. Obviously, you're above what everyone else is receiving on a response rate. So without giving away too much, I wanted to share a few things that came out of this call this week. And there were over 40 people on this call. There'll be another 100 that will watch it on the replay, which is available to everyone that is a member within this group. Every single week, we are having discussions like this in addition to the meetings in person. I encourage you, if you are looking for a community to help you grow and scale your business, whether that's from marketing, the financial systems, processes, people, your sales team, we have all of that covered for you. I encourage you to check us out and learn more about CG.com. Again, that's learnmoreaboutcg.com. I look forward to speaking with you in the very near future. Have a great day, everyone.